Your son, nephew, young man, let me holler at you. I've been in different types of supervisory positions. I've been in situations in the same category as somewhat of a supervisor when it comes to our family business, and I'm a teacher during the day. So I have people, and I have had people, whether it be young people or adults, who I've had influence over. Something about them, about their life, got determined by me, whether it's the grade they receive, whether or not they can stay in school, how their experience in school goes, or how much whether a person got hired or how much they got paid, and their experience at work. One thing I've learned is how you say things. Now, I know you've always heard it's not about what you say, but how you say it. But let me be a little bit more specific. Mastery of the English language and communication skills, and some what you call emotional intelligence matters. Having good social skills matters. That's dying in America, with everybody putting everything through text message and on computer screens. The art of communication is dying. Now, here's one of the basic things that helps me get a lot of things done in situations where sometimes other people may not necessarily be able to do so. It's a Southern thing, and sometimes it bothers some Northerners, but even with kids, I call people ma'am and sir. Now, I do get some Northerners who may be up there in age. They'll say, well, that offends me because it makes me feel old. But for a young person, maybe the first or second time they hear it, and not necessarily so much down here, it might make them kind of raise an eyebrow or look twice. But essentially, I'm going out of my way to be respectful. For most people who at least have some level of decency in them, if you call them ma'am and sir, and you go out of your way to be respectful, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be difficult for that person to disrespect you. Now, you do have situations where people may not understand proper etiquette, but that can be taught with time as far as the school setting is concerned. But when I'm dealing with strangers and I'm in places with people I don't know, saying ma'am and sir and being respectful goes a long way. Also, body language. Now, as a man, hey, a squared up stance to where at least you have both of your shoulders facing whoever you're talking to, and you have your eyes wide open and you're looking people in their eyes. You don't have to glare at people like you're angry, but you can send the message that, hey, I'm a solid individual, and what I say, I mean it, but I'm not a bad person or a hard person either. So if I'll gladly treat you with respect, but I just want the same in return. Now, I hear some people give commands, and this is probably when I make the title of this video, this is going to be mainly what it's about. If you want somebody to do something, ask. Even when even in supervisory roles, ownership roles, managing member roles, whatever, I still ask for what I need. If I needed a teacher to go on duty, hey, could you please go on duty for me at this time? Now, I don't have to ask, but something about that extra bit of courtesy for most employees, if you hired a decent one or if you inherited a decent one, that's not going to be an issue. As a matter of fact, they'll appreciate it. At the very least, multiple car pileup, folks driving too fast, jamming on them brakes. I think one of them sped ahead of me a few lights back. What is it with people speeding up or going around you in a red light district, and like the light is 100 meters away, and you still end up at the same light like 2 seconds later? Anyway, I digress. That's the hardest part of this kind of work is anything dealing with transportation is avoiding the wrecks all day long, at least down here in South Louisiana. So anyhow, I've learned to ask for what I want from my students, or at the very least, I will say, hey, I need you to do this. I'm not afraid to tell my children, my situations where I'm working with people, even though they may, have a debt or a duty to me, or I got a female friend in my life. It's been well established. Hey, I don't do situations where I'm going back and forth with my female friend. It's like, hey, dear, if it's not a situation where you want to follow my agenda, my game plan, that's cool. We can just be friends, but you can't be my special lady friend. You can't be my girlfriend, nothing like that. But okay, I will still say to her, hey, darling, I need you to do this, or could you please? Instead of just saying, hey, I was in a restaurant the other day. Just an example. I think it was a Subway or something like that. Last times I've eaten out was Subway, then an authentic Italian restaurant when I took my mother out for her birthday, and then before that, some oyster place in Lafayette, Louisiana. Anyway, I always, when I'm talking to the waiter, could I have this to drink? Would you mind getting me this entree? I tip the people nicely too, but I have good experiences most of the time with people. Now, I can't lie. As a man, I don't really get people who just overtly disrespect me and stuff like that. I've had that conversation with some men in the past, but I do still think a large part of it is that I'm overly respectful, and I just simply ask for what I want. So it's just something to take into consideration. Rather than when you're ordering food, yeah, give me that. I want that. Give me that. Do that. Take care of that. Okay. But if you're dealing with some individuals that may give the wrong impression of who you are and how you can carry yourself and how you handle yourself. But for me, asking for what I want, even when I don't have to, works wonders for me. So something to take into consideration. And as always, never lose the will to win, never lose the will to survive.